nearly 2 months, right? Right. Okay, you got it? Well, right, we've been here November, December, 2 months, and we're going back to Nepal in 1.5 weeks. So sadly, this will be our last time of worshipping here with you. We've been here for most of the Sundays, not all of them, but most of them, and Christmas Eve, which was spectacular, really lovely. And the little mention of music at the beginning, some of you oldies may remember we used to do that every week. The keyboard, I was on the keyboard over there. My 2 boys were on violins. Mina was on the flute. You may remember singing Amazing Grace with me standing up the back playing the bagpipes. Does anyone remember that? No? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You weren't born then. Right. Following on what James has just said, we both really want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And that's what this is really about, because we have the privilege and the opportunity to work at Lalgadh Leprosy Hospital in Nepal. We've been there just on 15 years now. Before that, we were playing music here. So we've been, and you folks have been so generous and wonderful in your support. So, and that's not just, I'm not talking about just money, I'm talking about prayers, encouragement, love, as well as funding, faith in action. And that's what we really want to thank you for. I've told you before, we've been through before what leprosy is about, so I'm not going to do that this time. It's still rampant in the world. There's 121 countries that still report on leprosy worldwide. But we just want to race through a whole lot of slides which will update you, is that coming through? Yes, update you on what's happening at Lalgadh, what we do there, and the work that you folks so beautifully support. So there we are. There's the first one that just says we're a mission hospital. We're a Christian mission hospital, and we try and work and serve in terms of being salt and light. Salt in terms of a compassionate and loving care of leprosy patients, and light in terms of spreading and acting the gospel and salvation through Jesus Christ our Lord. Okay, I've got to press buttons here, and I've got to go quite fast. Yes. Oops. That was too fast. Just our nursing staff saying, J Mercy, which I'll say again at the end. J Mercy means praise or glory to Masih the Messiah. And so only Christians say that in Nepal. So we say J Mercy, and I'll say it again at the end. J Mercy, we say that to every Christian we meet, at any opportunity we meet, on any day we meet, and especially, of course, in church, in our local church. So there we are. We're trying to shine and do our best, as in Philippians 2, to shine like stars in a dark and needy world. Just carrying on from last week, as I start to whip through these fast, you'll remember from Isaiah 43, 1-4, you are mine, precious, honoured and loved. So we look at our leprosy patients to sort of say, these folks are his, they're precious, they're honoured and they're loved through our hands and your support. Precious, honoured, loved, his. School kids, remote area, needy kids, precious, honoured, loved, his. Newborn babies delivered at our hospital, precious, honoured, loved, his. Just a reminder of where we are. There's Nepal. You can see the red circle showing our catchment area for leprosy, although that's in Nepal. It goes much wider than that. The Nepal, northern India, Bangladesh and Indonesia constitute the global hotspot for leprosy, and 2/3 of the world's leprosy is in this area. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands, millions affected by leprosy. And so you can see where we get our catchment from. And just note where Calicus School is, because really the second half of this is just to tell you about this school that you've helped us build up in this remote area. Okay, so we've got three main hospital services, three basic platforms of service, the hospital services, the community program and training. And so a lot of the time we dress like this because of COVID. This is our nursing staff and a couple of us doctors. It's uncomfortable. It gets very hot there, but we need to dress like that. Come on, change, right. We're very, very busy. In 2019, the year immediately prior to the pandemic, we had 12,700 leprosy patients coming through in the year, of whom 1,200 were newly diagnosed, fresh leprosy patients. It's still spreading there. We had 20,000 kids coming through. We had a total of 110,000 outpatients of all types. So it means we have, in a non-COVID year, 600, 700, up to 900 a day. At the moment, that's been cut down by almost half because of COVID, but it's rising again. So, and you can really see the graph there. The numbers don't matter much, but there we are. The top was 120,000 total outpatient visits. The red one down the bottom is leprosy patients. So you can see at the height there was 12,000, nearly 13,000. It's dropped down to about half just because of the pandemic. Up and down. And the earthquake is there in the middle too. I don't know if you noticed that. I'll mention that in a minute. So our outpatient clinics looks like that. That's Dr. Lama, and that's a ward round going around with patients having their ulcers and reactions attended to, and he's having a nasty ulcer on his arm attended to, all as a result of leprosy. She lives down the road from the hospital. She's got both leprosy and open pulmonary TB. We get a lot of that there. This guy is in our septic surgery room. He's got a nasty, you can see his feet are all swollen and ulcered. He's probably going to need a below-knee amputation, which we'll do if the ulcer doesn't heal properly. We have reconstructive surgery, which I've mentioned in the past. It's a transforming thing. It's beautiful. If the leprosy has not paralysed and clawed the hand or the foot too much, we can do a tendon transfer, and transfer tendons from good fingers, which tends to be the thumb and the first finger, and transfer them to the incapacitated, clawed fingers on the left. And straighten the fingers out. We can make the hand work again. This transforms lives because the stigma, of which is still very great with leprosy, people are ostracised and kicked out of their village and can't go to school and can't even get into health clinics. Once you straighten the hand out, the stigma disappears. Or the foot, the foot ulcers, that disappears. So, and it means young ladies can get married. They won't get married while they've got a claw hand. So it's life-changing for many people. That's reconstructive surgery. There's 4 happy ladies. The 2 in the middle have had reconstructive surgery. Neelam, who you've met before, on the right-hand side. It's on my left here. On the right-hand side is just 19. She's already had her below-knee amputation, has a prosthesis there. You can't actually see it. Shova on the other side needs a below-knee amputation. She's got very, very nasty ulcerated feet from leprosy. Every day we soak our patients' feet in water to try and soften them. They've lost the nerve endings in the skin. The feet get dry and calloused. We have to soak them and wash them every day. There's our nursing staff. And you may recall at Easter time, I usually send you a newsletter with a reference to John 13 and going and washing people's feet, because this is washing feet in action. Very privileged at a leprosy hospital to be able to actually do that. Mina runs laughing and stretching exercises every morning, has the patients in hysterics, and anyone else who's sort of around there. It's a very happy time. That's every morning. And we deliver babies. Come on, change. Right. We run an ultrasound, a nice ultrasound service there. here's us looking at a patient's liver. We've got a lovely machine there that was donated to us, and a very, very special person from this church family donated this machine to us. This is an auto-refractor. Leprosy patients go blind. They go blind because they can't feel the front of their eyes. That's one of the nerves that goes. The cornea becomes numb, and they can't shut their eyes. They have lag ophthalmos. They can't blink. Their eyelids are paralysed. And we need to detect that early and get glasses on them to protect their eyes. And just a few months ago, this machine, an auto-refractor, here it is being set up, was donated to us. There it is being set up with Dr. Sunawal looking at it, and that's what it looks like from this end. It came from this church. Thank you, special person. We're annoyed by several things there. One is the monkeys that sort of... we all use catapults to keep them off. They're a real plague on the roof. They wreck the tiles, the roofing tiles, and and they'll attack female members of staff because they know the nurses are a little gentler than the guys who will. Anyhow, the other thing that's a big nuisance there is the monsoon. June to September, it pours rain, and there's often heavy flooding, often with loss of life and homes. You folks have helped frequently in the past when we've sent newsletters and called for help for helping flooding victims. But one of the things that's nice here, that's our new children's ward, which you also helped in the construction of. The focus of a lot of your funds is on children, and your funds, along with several other churches, helped us build this very colourful children's ward. And inside there, every morning, we run our morning devotions, in which we pray for Westlake Church and say thank you to the good Lord. This is patients come, those who want to. They're all Hindu, but they do enjoy the singing and reading the Bible and the prayers. That goes on for 20 minutes every morning. So that's one of our staff nurses running it. There's our staff nurses and some of our patients. And that's a senior staff nurse running it there, just a view. I put these up because it's important to show this light shining side. Not just, we're not Oxfam, and we're not another relief agency. We're a Christian mission organisation, and we take this light and spreading, the gospel seriously. This is when we got a box of new Bibles and hymn books in Nepali. It's always a thrill. There are the girls sort of looking at the Bibles and appreciating it. There's the hymn book. You can probably see, "O Sacred Head, Sore Wounded." There we have a mixture of both Nepali songs and Western hymns, both of them. They're all written in Nepali. And that's what the Bible sort of look like inside. That one that you can see on the left there is Psalm 47. Okay, oh, clap your hands, all ye lands. Okay, we have a lot of happy, clappy stuff in our morning devotions. I'm not going to go on to the community program. It's a big program, but as you can see, folks in the surrounding villages are very poor. Most of these kids here and adults are malnourished. COVID's made it a lot worse because people couldn't get food supplies and, were stuck. Transport was off. And these are mostly in the villages all around us, Dalits. They're untouchables. That's their caste. And that adds to leprosy for the stigma and how they can mingle in the community and society. So we, again, with your help and others, we've taken a lot of food aid. We do that every year, especially when the monsoon is on and in COVID times, because people can't get out to get food. I want to just... so there's a delivery going on. Mina's standing there. Finally, I just want to talk about Calicus School. Some of you, I know, have seen the most recent newsletter. Just 2 months ago, just before we came here, in mid-October, It's taken us 5 years, but we built a new school up in this remote area. You saw it on the map before. It's directly south. We're all directly south of Mount Everest. So this is up in the mountain part. We got appealed to. We were delivering food aid further down on the main road to a school there, and 3 Tamang mountain ladies, Mina's a Tamang, 3 mountain ladies came down and said, look, you know, everybody brings stuff to this school. Nobody ever comes up to our school. Can you come up, please? You know, we really need help. So we delayed a bit, and they finally came to the hospital and said, please. So up we went. It's very hard to get to. And it was immediately obvious that their mud and rock school was in danger of collapsing because of the earthquake. The earthquakes in 2015, you'll remember, huge, massive earthquakes, 9,000 people killed in Nepal. So, as I've listed here, we immediately thought, right, we've got to rebuild that school. Our engineer went up and had a look, and we've got to yearly go up and with supplies and help run a clinic and help them sort of, improve life, the quality of life up there. There's the school, the little tin roof on top of a rock building. The terrain is difficult. That's what we met when we first went to the school. These are the kids. Absolutely gorgeous. They don't mostly speak Nepali, they speak Tamang. It's a mountain language related to Tibetan. So that's nice, but it's a disadvantage for them getting on anywhere in Nepal. Most of them are illiterate. Their parents are illiterate. And that's them. They're Tamang kids. And you can see they're looking a bit apprehensive there when they first met us. It turns out, as in discussing with people around in this village and down further below, we were the first doctors and nurses to ever go up there. Not only that, I was the first white person ever up there. So they're looking slightly startled. That soon changed after multiple visits. That's their condition in their old school, which they've been using until October this year, when we just finished the new one. So it's rather cramped. That's how they're learning. And there's the third-class girls. That's all they got in there. You can see the walls are falling down. This is how you get there. I could have put in quite a number of these pictures, but that's what the road looks like. And it's fearsome, I would say. The car broke down. We use an old 1980s high-base Land Rover. It's the only vehicle that will get over the water courses and the rocks that are on the road. It breaks down every now and again. And, well, that's the end of the road, and you have to walk from there. So we've left the vehicle there, and then we walk. And so these are the sort of supplies we bring up every year. You can see there's red, warm anoraks. There's lots of writing books and colouring books and learning books. There are school bags all up here for them, and there's lots of toothbrushes and toothpaste and face washes and soap and other stuff like that. All has to be carried. Up we go. Boy, oh boy. Like that. We have to carry ourselves up there too. That's Mina in front, and Dr. Yamuna second, and staff nurse Urmila at the back. Gorgeous country, very hard climbing, I can tell you. You have to walk for an hour or so. So that's what it looks like now. That's the new school with the blue roof and the blue and the red, with the old school just immediately behind. Fantastic countryside, hard walking. So, meantime, as we were building the school, as I say, it took 5 years because it was so hard to bring stuff up and down, cement and tin roofing and furniture and stuff. So we've been running these clinics, and this was just to show you the clinics that we've been running there. This is a particular focus that Westlake has helped us with, because we've always said, when we talked backwards and forwards to Elliot and Esther and others who have been focused, that we'll keep the focus mainly on children. So these are really needy kids. They're lined up there. That's Dr. Lama looking at Bimala, little Bimala, who was 7 at that stage. There's us looking at some more kids. And this little girl, Sarita, you may remember, we wrote about her a couple of years ago. Sarita had both her feet burnt off in infancy. This is because, the way Nepali houses are set up, people sit on the floor and there's usually a fire in the middle of the house for cooking and keeping warm, and Mum was out. They have to work hard in the terraces and that, and Sarita crawled into the fire. So they had a real struggle trying to do something about her feet. Took her all over the place, but anyhow, the feet sort of healed, although they blister frequently. So we on one of our visits up there, I think that was it. We got her down to Lalgadh, and we made specially moulded boots for her, and we got her walking for the first time ever. It was fabulous. School bag distribution, shoes, that sort of thing. I can't press this, but these happy girls got their school bags and school uniforms. We all give them blue uniforms. Mina got some money from the United Nations Women's Guild here to supply a water supply. So we've got this long pipe going for 1 kilometre or so up to the nearby hill where there's a spring, and we brought that down to the school. That's the first time they've had water at the school there. Can you imagine Swiss kids jumping up and down with joy at having toothbrushes and toothpaste? That's what these kids are doing. They don't get them there. They don't have them there. They needed a little lesson on... They use twigs to clean their teeth. So here they've got toothpaste and toothbrushes. And then this was just at the beginning of October. This was the final... this is our driver and assistant. He's carrying some carpet, rolled up carpet and some furniture. It's very steep. Down to the school. There's Mina with some of the others carrying furniture down there, chairs and tables and things for the school, and carpet on the floor. They've not seen carpet before. Houses and homes don't have carpet. This is a very rough but durable material, so it's on the floor. As with the painting, you notice the blackboard there. You may have noticed the blackboard on one of the earlier pictures that was just a scratchy. So we put in water facilities, we put in a latrine. It's the first time they've had water and latrine. We brought some balloons up, and this was opening the school on the 11th of October, just a couple of months ago. And that's the school teacher in the front there, putting up little flags and balloons. And that was sort of everyone gathered together for the opening of the school. There's more kids than that. There's about double the number, but that was all who were available on that particular day to come Saturday, to come there. Kids were thrilled to sit on a bench and have a table, painted table to work on at school. You saw what they were like before, just working, either sitting on the floor and using benches. These kids are waiting for their clinic, their health checkup. They are just too cute. I like this picture because Dr. Lama is looking at an abscess on this little girl's tummy, and I just can't get over the way Ritu at the back there is staring at this. The other two kids there just sort of looking on as this little girl has her abscess looked at, and Nurse Panina there then sits there and distributes the medicines that we order and distributes that. There's us doing that. You might notice this little girl, this is Rita, again. She has a squint, and we need to get her down to either Lalgadh Hospital to have her squint, one eye looking that way and one eye looking that way. She'll go blind if we don't do something about that, because the weak eye will just shut off in the end and the brain won't register that. So this is the school teacher being looked at. We looked at the teachers and the adults, and they all come. We had a break in the middle with some lunch. That's us eating lunch. And there's finally another lot of celebrating toothbrushes and toothpaste. I think that's just so cute. And there they are celebrating the new school bags that they've just got. You'll see they've all got nice red anoraks or green anoraks on because it's freezing cold up there. And then we said goodbye, and that was it. Thanks be to God. And mighty thanks to you too, Westlake Church family. And may it all be for his glory through Jesus Christ. Amen.
See there.